Hi everyone. So I'm going to be making a journal in October. If you're joining me for the Craftober challenge and you would like to make a journal with me, I'm going to just give you some tips for supplies and materials that you might need. So I thought we could start simple with altering some playing cards. If you don't have any playing cards, you can use any kind of card really. Cardstock thickness is best. But if you don't have anything like that, you could use standard printer paper or book pages, which you could layer, glue several pieces of paper together, or you can use junk mail, any old greeting cards, postcards, birthday cards, any of your old artwork that you want to recycle. So with altered playing cards we can go several different ways. I like to decoupage, so I would use some tissue paper that I keep from packages, or napkins, or any kind of thin paper, so you can find something like that. What I then like to do is use acrylic paints to prepare the surface. That could be the end result if you'd like, just a painting, or you can just make it as a surface on which you can add more. You can do mixed media, you can do collage. I think I'll do a few different things. The theme that I'm going to be focusing on is autumn leaves or steampunk. I might also create some with Sherlock Holmes theme. In general, I think the whole journal will have a vintage, grungy feel to it, and you can of course go with anything you'd like. If you have any stencils, you can use those on the playing cards. You can glue pictures from magazines. You can just create some little drawings, doodles. If you'd like it to serve as a journaling card, you can leave one side empty or make lines for a writing space. So think about what you might need depending on what you would like to create when altering the playing cards. And gather the materials that you have at home. It can be very simple. You can just use a pencil. You will definitely need a glue. You can just use simple PVA glue, the kind that is more watery, or you can water it down yourself for decoupage. And then when you have that substrate ready, then you can just create anything on top of that. So you can prepare any art supplies that you have. If you'd like, you can even collage with fabric, not just paper or any kinds of materials, but you would need stronger glues that are suitable for fabric. The next thing you might want to think about is what kind of papers you would like to use for pages. What size do you want your journal to be? You can use pages of different sizes. They don't have to be all the same. You can use different materials. You can use book pages, junk mail, any colorful paper. If you don't have any, you can dye your own paper with acrylics or with onion skins, which we might be doing the following week. What I would like to do is just doodle on some of the pages, maybe do some mixed media, maybe some stenciling. On week 2, I would like to start making the actual pages, so folding them, adding pockets, making tags, journaling cards, gluing pockets on pages. You might want to dye some pages with onion skins. I do have some already that I might use, so I don't know if I'll be making any new ones. Let me know if you would like to see the process. I might be making more acrylic dyed pages. So prepare supplies based on what you would like to be doing. On week 3, I'm going to be making the cover. I think what I'd like to do is make a fabric cover with like a cardboard core or some strong material. You can just make it from fabric, or you can just make a paper cover. But either way, you might want to use some fabric for the spine so that it's strong enough. What I would like to do is to do some stitching on the fabric before making the cover, probably some autumn leaves. So if you want to do some stitching, I'm sure most of you already do stitching, but if there are any beginners, you just need some needle and some thread. It doesn't have to be embroidery thread. If you don't have any, you can just use any thread that you have. I often like to use my vintage polyester threads from Grandma because there are nice colors there and I don't need to buy embroidery threads. They are a little bit different to use, but they work just fine for most simple projects. I might make a fabric collage with some slow stitch on top, or I might make a cover from just one fabric, one outside fabric and a different inner fabric, and do more traditional embroidery. I haven't decided yet. Or a combination of some abstract slow stitching and some leaves. There's an option, if you are not using fabric, to stitch through paper as well, if you'd like. Or you can use your sewing machine to stitch either through fabric or paper. On week 4, I'm going to create some art for the journal. So again, you will need some art supplies. Anything you have is fine. Colored pencils, acrylics, watercolors. You can use watercolor paper, mixed media paper, even book pages, just sketchbook paper. You can again make a collage, you can do mixed media, or you can do a simple pencil drawing. I might prepare some reference images for you if you'd like to create something similar to what I'm going to be making, which will probably be a pumpkin house and some black cat. Definitely something Halloween themed that I would like to include. So on week 5, I would like to be completing the journal. We're going to be binding the pages. I will most likely do a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch binding. So you will need a bit of a bigger needle for that and some stronger thread or string, or you can use all 6 strands of embroidery thread. We can then do more decorating. We can fill the pockets with more writing space. If you'd like to make more of an art journal, you can just continue creating on the pages. Or yours could be more of a stitch journal, so you would be binding the completed stitched pages. You could always make pockets to add more stitched pieces inside. So on the 2nd of November, I would like to make a flip through of my completed journal. And I hope that you will share photos or videos of your own journal on Instagram, or you can make a post on my YouTube community posts. If you have any questions about the challenge, you can ask in the comments below the video. I hope we have fun with creating our journals. I'm looking forward to creating mine and seeing your journals if you join me. Thank you for watching and have a good week.